Hi, welcome back. Alright, so it was pointed out to me that there was a mistake in the onSubmit method here, or function. Instead of resetting the person fields manually like this, we need to use the setter that we got from useState. Don't know what I was doing there. So we need to use the setPerson function and call setPerson and give it this initial value of an empty first name and last name. So we call it like this. Let's save. Actually, let me make the code bigger. So yeah, we changed that those two lines into this one line. And if we check, it still works the same way. Porter, add person, and it adds it and resets the fields properly. Alright, so before we proceed, I want to do some refactoring because of course we don't want all our code to sit in the app.js file. So let's separate all these concerns into different components. Okay, so first thing is I want to create a folder, call it components. Let's close this. And inside of component, I'm going to create three files. One is the form where we add the people from, so form.js. And one is the section on the right that shows how many people we have, so people.js. And the third one, this is gonna be a new one. Let's call this newest person. I want to have a section at the bottom that shows the newest addition to our list of users or people. And yeah, so let's distribute this code to its respective components. Okay, let's start with the form. So here we'll have Spring React and useState, same stuff that we needed for our form from React. And here we'll do const form. We'll take in props and return have this code block and export default form like this. And from here we will take, I think we're gonna leave the container. We're just gonna take the and the row as well. We're just gonna take this column. So from here down to here. So this column for adding a user. So we're gonna need the onSubmit and the onChange as well. Let's copy those. Or let's cut them rather. Space them up here. Let's take our person and setPerson as well. Forgot about it. And yeah, everything should be fine for the form. Now we need the people section, so it's this column right here. So we'll leave this empty here. So here we'll say, I think we don't need any hooks here, so we'll just say import React from React, const people. Yeah, we don't. Equals props, and we'll return the following. Oops. Wait, did I put everything in the return here? Oh, I didn't. Okay. Let's cut this and say return. And inside of parentheses, and don't worry about the formatting, I have prettier, so once I save, it's gonna format itself. So here we need to export this, export default people. Now we need to use these components in the app. So here we'll import them. So import. So the first one will be form from components/form, and the second one will be people from components/people. And here we actually need to pass them some props because they need to access this state. So for the form, I'm going to say form, and we're going to pass it an add person, the add person method or function. Keep saying method because I'm used to class-based components. So here let's say add person is add person that we have up here, and that's it. And we need to add the people section, so people. And we need to pass it the list of people that we have. So we just say people equals people. And in our form, everything should work the same way. So we get props. The only difference is that here, instead of using setPeople, we don't have access to that. We will use the method that the function that we passed in the props. And we'll say props.addPerson. And we'll pass it this new person object that we just created. And let's actually create this function. So in the app.js here, we'll create const add person equals, it takes in a person, and it's gonna use this set people setter, and it's gonna say set people, and here we in an array we spread the existing list of people, and we add this person that we got passed in. So from within the component we'll be able to call this, and it will actually add people to this list. And I think this is it for this component. In the people, I think we need to change, yeah, here we are being passed people from the props, so here we need to add props dot people, and let's save everything and let's see if it's working. It is. Let's check the app itself. Say Harry Potter, and we add. Cool, it adds. Everything works the same way. Now let's add that section at the bottom here that shows the newest addition to the list. Let's go to newest person. Here I'm gonna use need to actually bring in React, and here I'm going to use our next hook, which is the useEffect hook, and it's going to be from React. Say const newest person. You can name this differently. It's not detrimental if you name it something else. I'm not completely comfortable with newest person. It sounds weird, but we'll go with it for now. So inside of here, I'm just going to put a column, so dot call. Actually, I wanted to take the whole width, so let's put dot call -sm-12 tab. And here I'm going to put a header 2 with a class empty4 to have some margin on the top. Dot text center to center the text. And here we'll say newest person, and colon, and here we'll put the variable. So let's do an expression, so open curly braces and do backticks, so we can put a variable, and here let's put the newest person, not the component, actually camel cased, newest person dot first name space $ curly brace newest person dot last name. Now we need to obtain this newest person, and for this we're actually going to use the useEffect hook because we don't have this off the go. So what we're going to do is we're going to call useEffect, and useEffect, the way it works is that it actually takes a function, an anonymous function that's going to be called as a callback, and it's going to be called on the first render, and then whenever the component props, or the same way that componentDidUpdate works. So it actually combines componentDidMount and componentDidUpdate, and as we will see later, it combines as well the component will unmount, and we will see all of this. So our callback will take no arguments and will do something. And for this, what I want to do, I want to set, whenever we add a new person, I want to set the title of the document. So here, instead of saying React hooks, I want to set it to the newest addition to our list of people. So actually, I want this to be a bit lower, so let's give our container some margin top. So here, container, let's give it empty-4. Let's save. Yeah, it looks better like this. All right, let's go back to newest person. And here, I'm going to say const newest person name equals, let's do backticks, newest person. Actually, we need to pass, we're going to be passing this from to our component as a prop. So we will have this in our props. So we will say newest person, or actually props. Oh, I need to put a $sign here. Newest props.newest person dot first name and space, and we concatenate props dot newest person dot last name. Actually, we could as well destructure it, so we can remove the props from here, and here, instead of just saying props, we can put destructure straight away the newest person, and just use newest person here. And here, now that we have this name, we can actually just set the property title on document to newest person name. Now the title of the document will change, and let's console log useEffect so that we will see whenever it runs. And here we need to actually add this component, so I'm gonna copy this and one more time, Control D, and say newest person. And here under people, I'm gonna add this component, say newest person, and let's pass it the newest person property. Oops, newest person. And this will be the latest addition to the people array. So we will say this will be people, and it will be the index of people dot length -1, which will give us the last one. So here, let's close this tag. Let's save everything. Make sure it's still running. It says it doesn't have a default export because I forgot to add export default newest person. Let's save. Cool, it works. Let's check. Alright, so we get newest person Jane Doe, and it actually changed the title of the document to Jane Doe. And if we open the developer tools, here we get one print of, or one console log of useEffect. So as you can see, it works whenever the component is rendered, like the first time. So right now it worked as componentDidMount. So what we want to do now, actually let's check when we add a new person. Let's add again Harry Potter. Let's add, and we get Harry Potter here, and we get the change in the document title, and we get useEffect again. Cool. So it's working on update as well. So whenever the props are updated, it runs again. And one thing that we don't have the full ability with this code to test this, but the thing how useEffect works is that you can pass it as well another argument here. And if you hover over it, you see that it could take a second argument, deps, which is dependencies. And this is, you can give it an array of variables that you want to watch. So for example, if I pass it new person here, it will only be called whenever new person changes. So if we don't want it to ever happen again, if we just want to call it on mount, we can just pass an empty array like this, and it will only be called once. And to prove it to you, we can go to the app. You see it happened. So it just been executed, useEffect, and it changed the title to Jane Doe. But if we say Harry Potter here, it will not change. So newest person is Harry Potter, so the prop changed and the markup changed, but the title didn't change. So useEffect was only executed once because we gave it an empty array, which means only execute once because the data that you're watching is non-existent. So here, if we instead we just pass it newest person, it will only execute again whenever newest person changes. So if we save now if we just give it some gibberish here, we add, it actually executes. So if we check the developer tools, it executed twice. All right. Now, so we've covered componentDidMount and componentDidUpdate, but we need to cover as well component will unmount. Now, right now we don't have a way of testing this. I think we do. Let me try something. So the way this works is that you return from useEffect, you return an anonymous function which does something, and this will be executed when the component unmounts or the component is destroyed. So this is usually where you do any cleanup work. So if you have any subscriptions or event listeners, it's good practice to actually remove them here to prevent any memory leaks. So here in my return statement, I'm going to return an arrow function. And what it's going to do is just going to console log, let's say unmounted, and save this. And let's check. I think if I'm not wrong, if we add another person, this will change. This will execute the unmount because, yeah, it executes the unmount. You see useEffect unmount because technically we have actually removed that newest person and we've replaced it with a new instance. So that old instance was actually was unmounted, and now we mounted a new one. So we get useEffect again. And if we say now Mary Poppins, not in one line here, and we add, the same code executes, but that component unmounted and then it mounted a new one. Cool. So as you can see, what's cool about this is that if we were to use component DidMount and component will update and component, you can see we have to use 3 of them. But instead, now we just use useEffect, and it just covers all 3 use cases. And instead of having to write 3 methods, we just write 1 function instead of that. All right, so this is it for useEffect. There's better scenarios to apply them, and you'll see in future videos where we use useEffect to better effect, no pun intended. All right, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.